Come on. There we go. Hey.
Lift off.
Lift off. It's time. All right. Well, welcome everybody once again to Astronomy Daily Live. It's 2 hours UTC, and it's time again to gather this worldwide community of friends to gather each and every day and chit chat about astronomical things and spacey things and sciencey things and nerdy things and all of the above. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. It's here in southern Arizona. It's pretty warm, and we're starting to feel a little bit of humidity. Being the desert rat that I am. When it's always really dry, if the humidity just goes up a little bit, it's like, oh man, it gets really thick, really quick. So that just tells us that the monsoons are starting to think about going a little bit here. So it's pretty warm and getting more and more humid all the time. So that's great. So, all right. Well, I wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat first. So, Tom, hey, nice to see you there. Nightbot's here. Wow. Nightbot seems to always be hanging around. I don't know about that. And Chuck, hey, nice to see everybody in the chat. So yeah, everything's good here. Just a few high clouds. It's not really an observing night, not really, but we're good. And PageMaster just popped in, so nice to see PageMaster. He probably has. I'm hoping that PageMaster has an observing report to give. He got his scope the other day and was going to be collimating. And I think he was going to be taking it out yesterday. And so, yeah.
Oh, there's Carolina.
And Carolina sky. All right. Let me get to everybody.
Wait, before everybody starts reporting, I want to announce to all of you that today is the anniversary of my 1 year in the hobby of astronomy. Last year, on June 27th, I placed an order for my first scope. So, happy anniversary to me. That's all I have to say. You may proceed.
That first scope is the red one behind you, right?
No. It's the Next Star Evolution.
Oh, it's that one. Okay.
I bought that, super monster scope.
Yeah.
Kind of a mistake for
Well, since the interruptions has been broken, Bobby Burgess, Morgan City, Whiskey Alpha 5107 Sierra Whiskey Lima, alongside with the lovely, sexy, talented Atalinta.
Yeah. Bobby, what's going on over there? How are you?
Nothing much. It seems to be that Mixwer's working for sure. So I guess Ron's going to be busy with his station.
Good. Yeah, it's, it's, they were obviously having some problems, but hopefully they've got it all fixed. What is Ata doing here? She's shining a light on her evolution.
Yeah, that was my first scope. I was just doing that for the benefit of that group, so it wouldn't interrupt you.
Yeah, no worries.
That's my second scope over there.
Yeah, very nice.
What happened to your gray scope?
That's it, right behind her.
Yeah.
No, your gray scope, cosmic, your gray scope.
Oh, it's in the. I put it away in the. There's a case right there.
The gray scope's my scope's little brother.
Yeah, right right there. It's in the case,
All right, page master.
and the tripod is over here. Well, over there. So
Okay,
it's all
so
there. It's just a
page
way. Yeah.
master
Hey,
saw Jupiter with the first light, then Antares, Vega, Arcturus. Regarding Jupiter, I used a 32 millimeter eyepiece in conjunction with a 2x Barrow, and I was blown away about Jupiter.
Yeah. With let's see. You've got a 12. Did you say a 1200 millimeter focal length? Is that right? I think that's what he
Yeah,
said. So
and
1200.
Jam's first scope was a 70 millimeter refractor.
Hey, that is a great first scope. The the worst thing in the world is to get a you know um, get all excited and hyped up and everything. Now, Ata notwithstanding,
I know, I
I'm
did
gonna
it. I
I'm
did
gonna
it. It was a
exclude her a
mistake.
little bit, but the worst thing in the world is to get all excited and get all this stuff and everything and da 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 da, and then it sits and collects dust because you can't use it, or it's too hard, or you don't like it. Right? You don't have to like astronomy. There's no rules here, right? Um, so
I just
so
ruled it out. I mean, I've got a lot of discipline. I've studied science a long time, but I just bit down and bowled it out. But I would not recommend a beginner buy the scope I did,
right.
because not too long after I bought that big, wonderful, does everything but talk to you scope, I bought a smaller 19-pound, I can run out and look at things on impulse scope. And to tell you the truth, I use the simple one more often.
Hmm.
Now,
That's
I still use the better one, but I use the simple one more often.
right, right. So PageMaster's focal length is 1200 millimeters, and I'm going to divide that by 32 millimeters, which is the focal length of his eyepiece. And so without the Barlow, he was getting about 37 and a half magnification, which is actually really, I mean, that is adequate, right? That is
But the
extremely
Barlow
adequate.
would double that, right?
Yeah, he's got a Barlow, so he was up to 75, which I would say is just about perfect as far as that scope goes. I think there's a and I forget the rule of thumb, but there is something about like a maximum magnitude. Everybody, who doesn't know gets hung up on um, the magnification stuff, right? And it's not, magnification isn't that important. What's important is that your optics are aligned and clean, and they got a good surface, and all that. You don't need a lot of magnification. You just don't. In fact, less is sometimes better. So, all right, well, cool. So Jupiter was your first light. That's an excellent choice. Excellent choice. Antares and Vega and Arcturus. Cool. Yeah, you'll have to hit some deep sky objects too, of course. So cool. Excellent.
I knew he would be out the first clear night.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Cool. And there are many people who I wouldn't say don't like astronomy, but just have no interest. Right? It's like they're into other things, and they are into those things as much as I am into my thing, and you are into your thing. So I think that's great as long as we are
I
having
didn't have an
fun.
interest in it for 79 years.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly.
a while. Oh, message for tonight.
What is it? It says, "Go bold or go home." Now, in the context of the
Be a lot.
Starship Enterprise, what does that mean?
I just you have to be courageous. Go out, hunt for it, look for it,
Absolutely.
like we do here in astronomy.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. Well, and as I say, this live stream is more about questions than answers. If you want to get answers to things, there's a lot of resources, but this is a great source of questions. So if you like that, you are in the right place, because that's what I do more than anything else, is that I just wonder about things and I question things all the time. So yeah. All right. Well, hey, before we get going, and I've got to get better at this, but I do have to promote myself just a little tiny bit. I now have a Patreon page. If you go to Cosmic Lettuce, and that page is solely to support my research. It has nothing to do with this live stream at all. I'm not going to use this live stream as a you know uh, pulpit or anything. It's like Patreon. No. I'm going to say it a couple times, and that is it. I'm very, very pleased to say that Tom is a patron. So thank you, Tom, very, very much. And yeah, the idea there is that I would like to do research full time.
Do
And
you have a set amount that you put to have like just a basic level or what?
yeah, I've set up three tiers, and you can go from like as low as $1 to as high as you possibly want. But this kind of work is not glamorous. It is definitely non-profit. But I'd like to do this full time research, and so I'm not going to say anything more about it here. Go over to Patreon, go to Cosmic Lettuce, and all the info is there. Subject to change. Because that's how I roll. So, all right, everybody, I am
So
going
what
to.
do you expect once we do become patrons?
Well, why don't you take a look at that over there? I don't want to spend a lot of time on that during this live stream. I want to be talking about astronomy and space and science here, not about other things. So check it out, and if you have any questions after that, you can send me an email. Oh,
Now.
Atta is communicating with someone. Who was that on the other side there?
Spock, he's always bothering me.
Oh, man, he bothers you too. Always looking for advice and stuff.
I know.
Really, really annoying. Really, really annoying.
Thinks I'm his mother. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. Well, cool. I think what I want to do is get back to Aries. I think there's sort of one more deep sky object that I'm sort of curious about, and then we're gonna close that book finally and move on. So let's do that first. If there's any more time afterwards, I'd like to do a little sort of whoosh, a little bit of whoosh, and maybe a little bit of arithmetic, a little bit of number crunching right at the end. We'll see how it all goes here. Oh, the Rocket Lab launch was apparently canceled yesterday, and I haven't checked to see if it's still going on today. But I think they plan a 24-hour roll. So I'm going to go over to The Everyday Astronaut, which
Um,
uh,
and
my
as you do that, I'd like to thank
yep.
Tom Van Scotter for posting transponder information of the recently launched satellites on from the SpaceX mission. This,
Yes, the light sail too.
however, yeah, however, I don't think they're not available on Celeste Track yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on Heavens Above either. So it'll be, they're probably still trying, to configure their orbit a little bit, and I think, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know exactly what the plan is, but I think it's very, very cool that they're going to be putting out a beacon, and
yeah.
I think that's cool. I think
Maybe
that's
I should
very
start
cool.
tracking digipeters and stuff like that.
Maybe you should.
Because I've been tracking like anything with linear transponders or a FM repeater.
Cool. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, the Rocket Lab launch is now set to again 4:30 UTC today, and we will see what happens. We'll see what happens. So hopefully they're able to get off the ground. Don't know exactly why they scrubbed yesterday, but it's just the old thing. Better safe than sorry, right? So don't launch unless you're really, 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 really sure, really, really sure.
That's
So
it. That's it.
yeah, that's it. Okay, let us go
Look at
over.
Carolina. He got 400 subscribers today.
Wow,
Whoa.
really, and that is nice. That is really, really nice. Yeah, it's I'm not really paying that much attention to mine. That's not really what this is about. My attitude
Yeah.
is that I'm just going to share the passion, and people will come on
You know,
board.
speaking of it, after this show, I'm gonna check to see if there were any comments left on my videos because I think there were a few of them that were left, and I never got a chance to respond to them yet.
Yes, you definitely have to do that. Yeah, Bobby's been posting some things over on his YouTube channel too. So if you're into those kinds of things, check
Mine's is
out.
like more of like radio oriented, but maybe
Yeah,
I might add some features and stuff like that. Maybe go on throughout exploring keyways, do like either like long wave, medium wave band scans and stuff like that. I think those are gonna be good.
very, very cool. Sounds great. It's really, really fun, to share this kind of stuff, and
And I've
yeah,
been using online receivers to do my digital modes just in case I can't catch it here.
cool, cool. All right, let's go back over to Aries. Let's see, I'm going to get rid of that window. And okay, here we go. So I just have to make sure there's no incriminating evidence on the screen because we can't have that.
Look at that Martin Prawn again.
That's right. That's right. Oh, here we go. I love it. All right, here we go. So let's look at this elliptical galaxy here. They're calling it an E6. The elliptical galaxies, I forget exactly. That might go up to like E9. It might be E0 to E9. Somebody in the chat might have to correct me on that. But I think it's E6 to or E0 to E9, where E0 is like very, very, very round, and E9 is very, very, very elliptical. E6 looks like it's about right in the middle, if I've got that right. But let's go ahead and take a look at NGC 821. We really haven't looked at a lot of elliptical galaxies before, so I thought that might be an interesting thing to just sort of touch on a little bit. So, of course, we're going to go over to at least one of the nice sites to look at that. Astronomical databases here called Simbad. Simbad has been around. I started using Simbad in 1991, and by then it was
Oh,
pretty well established.
that's probably way before HTTP and stuff.
No, heck no.
No.
Nope. HTTP has been around since, at least the late 80s, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was it? 821? Man. 821.
Hypertext
Bam.
transport language. Yeah.
Hypertext transport language.
Hypertext transport language. Yeah.
Sounds so exotic.
Doesn't it?
All right.
Are like government agencies are trying to push HTTPS?
Well, HTTPS is just a secure HTTP, so
Yeah.
it's just encrypted, right? I mean, it's encrypted on your end, and then all that information gets sent encrypted, and then it's decrypted on the other end. So, everybody has keys and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, here it is. Right ascension and declination, clearly in the constellation of Aries there.
Scoot over. Let's see it.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it here. There it is. Wow. So it's right next to a bright star. That, sometimes that's problematic in terms of getting good data. So yeah, let's get back to that though. Let's sort of look and see how it's moving here. It looks like it's got a radial velocity. It's moving away from us at 1,738 kilometers per second. So that's quite a clip. That's that's pretty darn fast. Pretty small in the sky. What about 2 by 1.5 arc minutes? So pretty small, which sort of implies that it's either intrinsically small, it's just a small galaxy because it's small, or it's pretty far away, or both.
And PageMaster has it correct when it comes to elliptical galaxies.
Oh, okay. Let's see what. Okay. I do have that right. Wow. Well, I should mark that on the calendar. I was right today. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So it looks like in the visible, B and V and R are some visible wavelength filters. Looks pretty faint. Not really bright in the blue. So if we were go out to look at it, we'd see it at about like a magnitude 11.3 or so, which is a little bit, a little bit faint. Not too bad. It gets pretty bright in the infrared though. Kind of typical. So all right, let's see what this guy has over here. It's got a nice elliptical shape and a bright star right next to it. Yeah, so that's got to be pretty challenging. When they do things like spectroscopy, what'll oftentimes take place is they'll use a very, very narrow slit that just a little bit of light can go through, and that light is fed into the spectrometer, and then you get a spectrum and all of that. Well, if you accidentally put your slit this way, right, like across here, well, you're going to get the spectrum of that galaxy and that star. And if you just want the spectrum of a galaxy, that is going to get messed up really, really bad. So kind of a challenge. You've got to be able to put those slits they have to be narrow enough, right? If the slit
Can
is
we, Tom, can we please actually have the real this day in history and stuff like
what's
that?
that? What's that? Uh, yes, yes. Tom, mark that one down because next year I definitely want that noted. That I was right. So because it's just so incredibly rare. So all right, I appreciate that. So, but yeah, if
Oh,
the
in other words,
spectrometer,
Tom, tell us more what happened on this day in history.
yeah, please, if there is. So, if the slit to your spectrometer is really, really wide, then you might have no choice but to gather the light from both of these things. And that is going to mess up your data. So this is a challenging object because it's just so close to this foreground star. It just so happens our line of sight is such that, when we look at this galaxy that is probably tens or hundreds of millions of light years away, it's almost right in back of a star that is maybe 100 or 200 light years away. So that's kind of a bummer, but that's how it goes. So this is an
Yeah.
image with the digital sky survey. Let's see if the Sloan digital sky survey has an image of this guy. Oh, looks
Now,
like
those
maybe.
digital sky surveys, these are like usually or ground based, right?
Um, I think most of the ones here are. Um, I think there are a couple like Spitzer. That's a space-based. Um, Allwise might be. Iris might be. I'm not quite sure. Pretty much all of these are ground-based, but definitely not all of them. No.
All right.
It looks like the Sloan didn't quite pick up this one. So
Yeah.
let's look.
And it's probably your internet's probably slow as well. Well, I picked up.
No, I think the data's just not there.
All right. And what survey is that?
This is the blue channel of the Digital Sky Survey.
Okay.
So this is just looking at the blue light. There's probably there's a red light one too. So they put a blue filter in front of it, took an exposure, and then they put a red filter in front of it, took an exposure, and got that. So you can sort of see, sort of assuming that the exposure times were the same length, it's much brighter in the red. But I'm guessing that maybe the exposure times are different. That seems pretty extreme. So, but yeah, it's a nice little elliptical galaxy. The these kinds of galaxies don't really appear to have any spiral arms or any like dust and gas and all that. They're well, like with almost everything else in the universe, they're kind of a mystery as to why they're there. I'm sure that there are lots of theories and guesses and stuff, but it's all they are really. But pretty elongated. So it being an E6, that's sort of a medium elongated guy. So yeah, all right. Well, let's back up a little bit here and see if there's anything else. There seem to be quite a few clusters of galaxies and stuff in this constellation. So back out a little bit and see. Don't really see very much. A lot of times elliptical galaxies will come in groups, but wow, I'm just not seeing much of anything. There's a few little ones here. There's a little guy. So, you know, from there, this galaxy, the Milky Way, looks probably about the same, right? Just a faint, insignificant smudge. Oh, all right. Well, I'm not really seeing very much of anything else. These both of these that we just looked at now, both sort of look like spirals. See, there's a little bit of a dust lane in here. Maybe if you use your imagination a little bit, you might see some spiral arms. This one is almost edge on, so it's kind of hard to tell. What's the scanner say there? Anything?
Definitely a spiral.
Definitely a spiral. Okay, good. I'm always grateful to have that kind of confirmation. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much of anything else. This is just sort of a lonely little galaxy out here. Here's a couple others over here. Is that another spiral? Oh yeah, that's another spiral. And this one's got a little bit of action in it too. There's some brighter regions in there. That's kind of weird looking.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Now, what is that? Is that a some kind of a weird flaw on the camera, or is this an asteroid? It might be an asteroid. That could be. You know, they take a long enough exposure, and these asteroids move, so that could be an asteroid. It's sort of, I mean, it's really, really faint, and it's moving in a straight line. So yeah, who knows? I thought there was another galaxy up here somewhere, a bright one at least. Well, that's a double star. There it is. Yeah, so another nifty little spiral there. That's kind of nice looking.
Well, obstructed observation area.
Yeah, it's got some nice chunky arms there. Cool. All
Doesn't
right,
it
so
blow your mind to think of all the galaxies in the universe, and here we are on this tiny little planet inside one of those galaxies.
yeah, you know,
We
I
are
mean,
so small. It's just incredible.
you know, what amazes me is how small we are and how big we can think. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, we
how
can,
small our bodies and how great our minds.
yeah, you know, that we can actually, you know, sort of wrap our heads around
Like
this.
this.
You know, it's totally amazing. But yeah, you know, we're looking at probably at least 100 billion stars here. So pretty amazing, and it's just a faint fuzz. There might be these. You know, it's kind of hard to tell if these really small faint things here, if those are foreground stars. They might be associated with the galaxy itself, though. You know, they might be globular clusters or something like that. But this galaxy is probably pretty far away. Why don't we see if there's any kind of distance measurements here? I'll bet you there probably is. We can get an idea of
As
how
that
far away it
David
is.
Taylor would say in Pearl Harbor, distance is our OY.
What's that?
You ever saw Pearl Harbor? The movie Pearl Harbor?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, you suck, Cosmic.
I did.
Well, yeah, I usually do. I'm not that much of a movie watcher, so I don't have time to watch all that stuff. Wow, lots of references. Holy moly, 522. This is, well, you know, now everything I said about it being hard to sort of make measurements of this galaxy, well, this is a very well studied galaxy. So make me a liar. Make me a liar. I have no problem with that. That's why it's so important to mark those occasions when I'm actually right, because I'm usually not.
Yeah.
All right, let's get an idea here about how far away this
I always
guy
like
is.
to say this. Anybody that's gonna call me a liar when I'm telling the truth is a liar to their own selves.
Yeah, that's
I
an
would
interesting
never
way.
do that, Bobby. I think anyone who would call you a liar is crazy. They are suicidal.
They don't know exactly who they're talking to. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna sort of average these just in my head. I'm seeing maybe about 20. I'm gonna say 23 megaparsecs. So 3.26 million light years is a megaparsec. And I'm going to multiply that by 23. And we get almost 75 million light years. So it's not incredibly far away. 3.26 times 23. Yeah. So 74.9. Yeah. 75 million light years away. So not incredibly close, not incredibly far, just sort of out there in the universe for sure.
Yeah.
Radio velocities seem to all sort of agree. Even the ones way back in 73 seem to sort of agree with all of these. So that's nice. It's always nice to see that kind of agreement. One of the steps in the scientific method is for others to confirm your work. So these folks back in 73 made a measurement and they said this is what we got. And then what, in 1991 these guys made a measurement. They actually made a measurement of redshift, and they got that. It's I'm not quite sure why they don't translate this into velocity, but that's okay. In '95, they found that. So pretty good agreement. It's
Word alert.
Hey there, it's the Earth, Mr. Ron. How are you?
All right, checking in.
Good. Hey, before we move any further, I looked at that revolution a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think for the money, I think it's a pretty good deal. But you're definitely getting what you're paying for. The camera itself is I think it said like 1020 by 580 or so pixels. So it's pretty small, but for that price, I still think it's a rockin' deal. I think it's a good deal. Just realize that you're not going to get like these HD pictures, right? You're going to get something pretty low res, but for starters and for the price, I think it's great.
Well, compared to my cell phone,
compared to your cell phone, your cell phone doesn't necessarily have the capabilities that this thing has.
okay.
In terms of resolution, your cell phone is much better.
What about compared to my Pentax I have?
Well, what's
DSLR?
What's the size of the images?
Standard DSLR for Pentax.
Yeah.
KR. Pentax KR.
Do you know what the dimensions of the images are?
Not exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's the size of the camera at least in my opinion, is a little bit small. But for that price, it's okay. The other thing that I sort of don't like is that everything is battery powered.
Right.
So, that is kind of a pain. I'd sort of like to see if they had a different one that had like on the HDMI out and a way to plug it into the wall. Some kind of extension cord if you need it or anything like that. But
Well, you can wire that up. Come on.
you certainly could. You certainly could. Yeah. And so that's why I'm saying,
right after you get done with rewiring your keyboard.
Yeah. So I would say for that price, I think it's a good deal. But don't expect much. But yeah, I think it's great
for a beginner camera and just getting into it.
Totally.
No, I think it'd be fine for that. What I like about it, I don't happen to own a smartphone for a whole bunch of personal reasons, and I like the idea that you can project what you're looking at on the little.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's what I would use it for.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what I would use it for too. Is like a Star Party situation.
Yeah, Star Party thing. I would use it for.
Yep.
And you can have, however many people watching it,
Yeah.
Especially at my Star Parties, my God, I get hundreds,
Yeah, right.
Right. That kind of a situation, it would be so much better to have a nice screen, a large screen, to show everybody. And then, I would also say though that make sure that anybody that actually wants to put their eyeball up to an eyepiece, let them do that, because that's a very special, nice experience.
Well, what you could do.
We'd like to welcome Eddie Kelly in the chat.
You can have a what do you call it? Either a dual eyepiece. Got the binocular eyepiece thing, right?
Yeah.
And
so
but then
you can have. Well, you can have one. You can have it set to the camera, and then you can also have the same view on the side, which I think you can do that.
Yeah. You'd have to mess around with that a little bit, but it's pretty easy to take this camera out and plop in an eyepiece. So yeah, like I said, you're getting what you're paying for, and at that price, I think you're getting a pretty good deal. Just don't expect high res, big images, anything like that. But I think it's great. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Good.
I do.
Well, I got one payment left on my scope. I figured that out today.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So, one payment left, and I'm going to play it. I think I'm going to pay it early and then order that camera.
Sweet.
Might as well. You're going
to. All right. So we are.
That was true that they only had one left. On the site, it said they had one left.
Oh, well, I think they just make you think that. That way you hurry up and order it.
That. Okay.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, that's good sales.
And then that way, I better get that last one.
Yep, that's right.
And then, of course, you buy it, and then, of course, they got one left even after you get it.
Right. All right, well, we are trying to finish up the constellation Aries by looking at one more galaxy.
Where is Aries?
Aries
in the sky
is. Hold this up here.
The navigator knows exactly where it's at. That's where we're going.
Yeah. So it's actually just south of the Andromeda galaxy.
Okay.
Just to the west of the Pleiades and Taurus. over here. So yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's up right now. These days, it's up pretty early in the morning.
okay.
Pretty early in the morning, you can see it. So, yeah, and we are looking at an elliptical galaxy called NGC 821. And well, here
How many galaxies are in view that's possible?
in area.
Yeah.
Well, nobody really knows.
Okay, which
When the
one would
Hubble.
you recommend then? I'm talking about for ground base,
Oh, okay. To actually
backyard astronomy.
view, yeah, pretty much any of these, you'll
Okay,
be able to see, with an 8-inch scope.
okay.
This one is pushing it a little bit. It's magnitude 11.3. So when you look at this object through your scope, um, it's kind of nice because there is this bright star right next to it. So you look for a faint fuzzy thing next to a bright star,
Mm-hmm.
but it is definitely going to look pretty faint, just a faint little smudgy thing. You'll probably be able to tell that it's elongated a little bit, but that's about it, right? These images, of course, are long exposure photographs taken with large telescopes. So, you know, these things are big and bright and everything else. You'll never see it like this, ever, ever. So, okay, but this is a very well studied object. It's pretty amazing. 522 references.
Mm.
So let's see if there's anything particularly interesting about this elliptical galaxy here. I really like how this starts in sort of the most recent and goes back in time. Let's actually go back in time. Let's see how far back this actually goes here. 522 references. How far does it go back?
So what am I looking at? Not to distract you, but looking at the night sky, I notice I see the Northern Cross. Okay.
The northern
Of course,
cross.
not Deneb and Northern Cross, and then the arm of the Milky Way,
Yep.
and then just if you're looking at it, just to the one side you have Vega with Lyre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then over. Okay, looking at it, and if you're looking at it, the arm of the Milky Way,
Right.
and you're looking at the Northern Cross, and then
Yep.
you're looking at Vega. You see the constellation Lyre. Of course, not tonight. It's cloudy again. But then you go down just a little ways. And what I mean by down is you go over, a little ways, and you got like I think it's Altair actually. You have 3 stars, one bright one in the middle of it.
Yes.
That's Altair.
That's Altair. Yeah, and
I thought so.
Yeah,
Okay.
those 3 stars, Deneb, Vega, and Altair, make the summer triangle.
Okay.
So that's the summer triangle.
Okay. I got it. Okay.
You got it, dude. You got it.
All right. I just wasn't sure of the names. But I kind of knew it.
No, you got it. You got it. And Deneb is in the constellation of Cygnus, the swan.
Yeah.
Vega, like you said, is in the constellation of Lyra. And Altair is in the constellation of it's the eagle. I forget. I think it's Aquila, right? It's Aquila, the eagle.
I think so.
That's right.
And then farther down or farther to the east is Aries. What you're talking about, right?
Aries.
Farther.
Yes. Much
not quite
further
up yet. Yeah.
Much further east.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going in the right direction then.
Yeah. I think the right ascension of Cygnus is around 18 hours or so,
Oh, wow.
16 or 17, 18 hours. And Aries is around 1 or 2 hours. So
Okay. Quite a difference there.
yeah, well, 8 hours in the
Okay.
sun. So
So now we actually got some on this day in history. In 2013, the Interface Region Imaging Spectrograph, or
yay.
IRIS, launched. It has a high frame rate ultrasound imaging spectrometer. Its mission to investigate the chromosphere of the sun.
Hmm.
Yeah,
6 years ago today.
Hmm.
yeah, and that's actually one of my favorite spacecraft. I don't know why, but I really really like Iris. I really like all their data. They have so much data available. We've looked at it a bunch here. So wow! On this day 6 years ago, that was launched. Yeah, I
Hmm.
I don't know if I remember the launch, but soon after that, I got onto their site and started looking at their images and their data, and it's absolutely great. So and yeah, it's as far as I know, well, or hope, I guess, that thing is going to be running for a long time. It's in what's called a sun synchronous polar orbit. So it's always seeing the sun. It's never in the shadow of the Earth. It's always looking at the sun. Always. And yeah, that mission um, is doing some amazing things, looking at the sun. So yay, yeah, that's a great spacecraft. We will look at that data many times over the lifetime of this live stream because I just love it. All right, well, here is what looks like the first reference to NGC 821 back in 1926 by, guess who? Mr. Hubble himself.
Hmm.
Oh gosh.
So it's probably just a photograph, but let's take a look. I mean, it's not going to look much different, than what it is now. The quality is probably going to be a lot less, but back then, this was, 1926. So that's pretty amazing. Um, and, they're calling these things extragalactic nebulae. So in the 20s, they were still, I think, sort of deciding what exactly these things were. Earlier than that, they just thought there was some kind of nebula,
Hmm.
just a big cloud of glowing gas and dust. But it sort of looks by this time that they are thinking that these things are outside of our galaxy, right? Extragalactic means outside of our galaxy. Um, so yeah, it looks like they just have a list here and hopefully some pictures. That's I'm always into the pictures.
I'd like to see what sort of pictures they got back then.
Yeah, let's see if it might just be a list though. I have no idea. 52 pages though, so I
Ugh.
think we're gonna do pretty good here. I'm not really that much into history and stuff, but I really do like reading these older papers. There's an elegance to the writing that just isn't there anymore. So and I like to look at all the old thinking and the pictures and everything else. So let's see.
I guess way back when they had something called the printing press or the typewriter.
Yeah. Let's see, where was this published? So this was published in the Astrophysical Journal, APJ, as it says here. So, yeah, APJ. 400 extragalactic.
What's that equation there?
It looks like it is some kind of a luminosity relationship. Some kind of a magnitude to So magnitude is related to the distance. So that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let's move down here. I'm not gonna hover around this too much, but usually these are really nice reads. So I definitely encourage everybody, to go back and take a look at this.
You can
I'll try
also
to remember
them without having. They define all the terms they use.
Yes.
You don't have to go hunting around like you have to do in modern papers.
Right. It's true. It's true. Okay, so well, we're going through. I think Hubble seems to sort of do this in every one of his papers. He classifies all the different kinds of fuzzy things up there. But we're gonna move on here. Let's see. Poor machine is working hard to help us get through this. Yeah. Is it really 2:56 UTC? Is that really what time it is already?
Yep.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
not,
Oh my gosh.
that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
So think about what were they using when they got those pictures?
Oh my gosh.
Photographs. Just photographs. Photographic
Right,
plates.
but what were they using? What kind of scope?
Well, that's actually one of the things that I wanted to try to find out was what scope they were using here.
I can hear echo. Not me.
Not you. I'm going to blame you anyway. These are actually some really nice shots.
What is that one on the left, top left? Yeah.
This one here?
Wow.
That looks a lot like the Sombrero
I was
Galaxy.
going to say that, yeah. But I wasn't
4594.
sure.
I think it is. That number rings a bell.
I can hear the keys going.
Ding, 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 ding. Yep, it's a Sombrero. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had it right. Okay, good.
Ooh, you're on a roll, Art.
So let's see if we can find our guy in here, 821. Doesn't look like it's in any kind of order. It probably is, but I'm not seeing it. Barred spirals.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bit crazy how they were able to put those photographs in those old papers. Because way back when, you didn't have anything called scanners or stuff like that.
I know. So here's a spectrum of a galaxy. I think we've seen this before. I seem to recall seeing this. So yeah, either he's used the same images in different papers, or we're looking at the same paper that we have before. I wonder if we can just do a search for 821. Ron, I think
that'd be weird if they actually did have photocopying back then, but it's not what you do today.
Yeah, they were definitely able to publish, but it was probably some kind of mimeograph thing, or I'm not exactly sure what they used on that. Ooh, 821 is being found somewhere. Wow. Okay. Well, that's all they've got on that. So this is just a measurement of the brightness. So they measured the magnitude to be 11.8. Okay. They've got to have a picture in here, though. But trying to find it might be problematic. Let's see if we can. But yeah, Ron, I'm pretty sure that they were probably using the Mount Wilson Observatory. And I think that's a 60-inch telescope.
Oh, wow.
I think. And I think at the time that was at least one of the largest ones in the world.
You You think about how they made that then, you know.
Well, they actually made it exactly the same way they make most mirrors today, and that is, they take a blank and they polish it down.
Mm.
They grind it down.
Yep, I don't have a clue on how they do that.
It's fun. I've made a lot of mirrors, and it's extremely tedious,
Yeah,
but extremely rewarding. And
when it's all done, yeah.
they're making mirrors is a lot like making art.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know when to stop.
Right.
And that's it.
And I don't think I have that yet, because when I'm looking for that smallest piece of gold, I keep on looking for it.
Yeah. No, you definitely have to know when to stop, because you could go on and on and on.
I
and
did
on
find
and on.
that I posted in Discord, your Discord chat, about that one telescope I was talking about, the
Oh, I saw that.
the
Yes.
travel
Yes.
scope, and it basically, as Uncle B or Uncle Bill noted, is that they use that one so that you can carry it on the airplane.
Oh,
And they
sweet.
actually
Wow.
had it to where it would fit inside the overhead thing, and it was light enough where you can actually carry it on.
That's
And
amazing.
you don't have to worry about weight restrictions or anything like that.
Right.
But
Wow.
just how compact it was, you could imagine you can put it in the trunk of your car, in a small car,
Yeah. It's
And
really, really nice. And those are relatively easy to put together too.
yeah, and at that one there, it was an 8-inch, but I think I've seen them a little bit larger to a 12-inch, I believe,
Sure.
for the same functionality of the box or travel scope.
Right.
And
Nice.
it's pretty neat how it collapsed down, and you just put it in a little, like a briefcase type of thing, and carry it away.
Nice. So as you can see, I'm just rapidly scanning through this. There's a lot of analysis here. There's a lot of trying to correlate different things, like the galaxy type versus magnitude or distance, and trying to figure all this out. And it's always kind of interesting to see that process. But I'm still looking for a picture. That's what I'm ultimately after here. Is a picture of our little friend. But that's kind of neat. This object was first reported in 1926. So that's almost 100 years ago. I'm sure they knew about it, before that.
Compared to Galileo's original scope, yeah.
No, there's no comparison. That's an unfair comparison. How about that?
Yes, I knew him well.
He did.
A very, very long paper, but I don't know if there's any more pictures or anything. That's kind of a bummer. But let's get through this a little bit here. See if there's anything. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of references to Mount Wilson here. So I might be right twice. Wow. Can't believe it. Come on. Here we go. I don't think.
And how long do we still have the HST, the Hubble telescope?
I think in its current state, I think we've got maybe like 10 or 15 years left with that guy before it decays. If there's a way to boost it, boost its orbit, if things don't fail on it, mechanically, then it could last quite a long time, I think. Yeah, it's sort of looking like it is the 60
And probably like SpaceX will have like a little booster ship that boosts up the ISS in the Hubble. That would be great, huh?
That would be awesome. That would be very, very awesome. When the space shuttle was servicing the Hubble, every time they would go, I don't know every time, but I think at least a few times they gave it a little boost, and for sure, the last time. So yeah, I'm not seeing any more pictures. Wow. Okay.
Oh, that sucks.
Wonder how much that would cost to have a telescope viewing at Mount Wilson.
Well, it's still there.
Yeah.
And
well, they have tours. They have tours. That's what I was looking at here.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know if they're using that as a research telescope or not anymore. I'm not quite sure.
And
probably not.
Now I don't have the text file because I was decoding the radiogram this evening on my phone with my radio. But they were saying about we as Americans don't want more being in the moon. They want spacecraft on asteroids.
Well, if I had it my way, we'd be doing it all.
Yeah.
Every single.
Yeah.
They don't want man on the moon or on Mars. They want spacecraft on those asteroids instead.
Hmm.
Well, the asteroids.
I want to find the one with the gold on it.
Have literally, infinite resources there, infinite. And the great thing about asteroids is that those resources don't require us to have to go into these huge gravity wells where we have to try to propulsively land and take off and all of that. It's just a mess. I think Anta is leaving this universe. So we'll see you later, Anta. Thanks for coming in.
Have a good night.
Good night, Anna.
See you later. Back to a pumpkin she goes. So yeah. Well, speaking of pumpkins, I was actually asked to get out of here a little bit early, so I think I'm going to get out of here right now.
All right, we'll see you next time, then.
I'm gonna check the chat one more time.
You tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Yeah,
and like I said at the beginning, I am now doing a Patreon thing to support my research. It has nothing to do with this live stream at all. This live stream is for fun and talking astronomy and all that. If you want to support my work, go over to Cosmic Lettuce over on Patreon, and you can do that. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to get on out of here for now. Peace, cheers, and all that. Have a great evening, a great day. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you have to, whichever you choose.
Suck it.
But don't tell Bobby you did it, because I have no control over that. All right, I think it's time to exit this universe and move on to the next. So
all right, see you next time.
Next time, in just one spin of this little planet, I'll be back. 2 hours UTC. Peace, cheers, and all that. Live long and prosper. I'll see you later, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.